Alright, so I mentioned that you can be anything you ever imagined, and even more than that in heaven. So the reason why you're here the way you are is because you chose to be that way, either male or female. And that's what you have to live with for now. Unless you want to take another route and do different stuff. But I'll tell you this, nothing you do is wrong, nothing you do is bad. But, you know, it'll hurt other people. And that is the worst idea anyone can ever come up with, is hurt somebody else's feelings. Physical, mentally, that stuff is the worst you can do. All of that stuff is acceptable in this world. But I will not support none of that stuff. I don't think it's necessary, especially at this point, since the world is sort of balanced and it's not necessary to advertise or hurt anybody else. Hurting somebody is simply punishing and teaching them a lesson, and at this point of time, it's not necessary. Um, Nothing you do here is wrong, though. So, by that being said, just choose wisely what is it that you want to do or say, because nobody wants to be hurt, obviously. Um, Planning on looking at the world in a more balanced way, and this is why I chose my role spiritually and physically to a point where it came a reality. And so, if you want to be something that somebody else has an opinion on, if it's not gonna physically hurt them or mentally damage them, then you're free to do whatever you want. If you want to be girl on girl or guy on guy, two girls, girls, two guys, whatever, that's your free will. You're allowed to do any of that stuff. You know, God wants us to do whatever makes us happy. So in heaven, picture this. In heaven is the world where all of the spirits are after death. And you have the ability to step out of that bound and create your own world. Create it however you want to see it. And you have the ability to go back to wherever you want. This is just where you start. This is where you're born. And God is not going to stop you from being happy. There are no rules in heaven. You know, evil does not exist in heaven. That's why there is no rule. You are free to do whatever you want, because everything you do will be pure and it will be positive. And nothing can stop you from being happy. Not even here. Um, if you're a lesbian and you like girls, that's what makes you happy. That's what you should be doing, because that's what your heart is telling you. Now, if you're gonna let somebody else create for you, then that's your decision. Either you want it or not. They're creating for you because they have their own creation of that, and they're saying how it's negative. For example, a tree. If a tree looks a certain way, and I say the tree must be evil, all trees are evil because of what I experienced. If I advertise that to the whole entire world, then I created that trees are evil and it's forbidden from whatever, because of whatever. But if I advertise that trees are good, then trees are obviously just there here on earth to enjoy. And that is how everything else works when it comes to sexuality and happiness. Um, don't let anybody else create for you. You create yourself. You create what makes you happy. God gave us everything in this world for us to enjoy. Everything at free will. Nothing is wrong. What I will consider not pleasant, not, you can say the word nice, will be hurting someone physically. That makes me really upset. Um, Hurting someone mentally, lying to them, giving them illusions, that makes me upset. Also, just being confused about things. And, God put all of the plans here on earth for you to do whatever your creativity wants to do with them. And I'm talking about all plans, they're all acceptable. Everything, anything is acceptable. God in heaven, in his own form, is God, which is existence, everything all together. Also, God is everything else that is not existence. What I mean by that is God is literally everything. So, if you haven't met God in form, then you still met God. God is in the air. God is you, your mother, and everyone else, and everything else all together. Everything together is one thing. Because if something is not something, then it's nothing, and you will not exist. So God is everything. We are all connected. But always remember that God is in heaven if he wants to be in his own form. But God is also connected with existence. Existence is the body of God. Everything else. God is nothing but good, nothing but happiness. The ones that wants to give you any fantasies you ever dreamed of to come true, any dreams you want to live in, and whatever. This world is just what you get until that time comes, until death. A lot of people speed that time up. A lot of you challenge yourself and just want to stay here. Anything you do is okay. Just remember, do not hurt anybody.